Chapter 4. Ladder Movers. Ladder movers are a very important section and department. They are very vital in achieving any goal. If any vision is stagnant, can't be multiplied, or be sold beyond your race, it is a vision that will never give you a million. Anything that can be multiplied can give you millions or billions. When you have got these ladder holders, they help you by holding you still in a certain position. Nevertheless, there are key people that you must also create. People who are able to carry you whilst you are on top and move you to another position. We call them ladder movers. These ladder movers are people who have got a great vision and are not afraid of failing. They are people who are ready to take you to another horizon. The biggest risk in life is never trying or starting. This mindset must be plugged in you. What you start with is not what will lead you to success. It is what you find when you have started that will give you more than what you would have started with. There are people who are supposed to have courage. Courage enough to carry you to another level and place you in another section. I have named them ladder movers. They move you to another horizon. This cannot be done by you alone, and neither can you achieve it alone. You need people who, when you tell them your craziest ideas, they feel that it can be done. They must move you slightly in connection to what you are doing. Take note of this. You do not just skip a section. The paint must flow and show the same color. It must also dry in the same manner. The ladder movers are connected to where you are painting, but they also want you to paint another section. They are pushing you to another level, so that when you paint on another level, at least you are moving towards your vision. They move you to another section, allowing you to paint another area and move you slightly. They understand risk and they know that you will win. They are making you a champion and a winner as they push you slightly to another section. They are in a very important section. When we speak about ladder movers, one vital thing to look at is the issue of fear. Ladder movers are not afraid of failing. Failing is part of their life. They ensure that they correct every mistake after failing. They are not afraid of tomorrow and are risk takers. Let me elaborate more in terms of fear. When you are looking and making these people closer to you, you do not want people who are shaking at any point. They should not be afraid of the new horizon. You always want people who are able to take a risk as well as fight with you as they push you to another level. Within the people who are holding your ladder, you must create one or two people you will tell whenever you feel you want to move your horizon. You make them aware of the direction they are going, and they at least push you in that direction. Remember, they are already firm, loyal, and have faith in your vision, but they carry another skill, a skill of moving forward. Not many people carry this skill. This is a very uncommon skill, which is hard to find. Ladder movers may be very few, whilst you have plenty ladder holders. Those that have vision may be very few and insignificant in the eyes of many, but popular in your heart. I would want you to take them as private angels as well. Remember, in the first chapter I explained on the issue of private angels. They are people who come without an appointment. They also have no need to book. They just walk in and tell you something. They are holding your ladder, but secretly they move with you. They believe your stupidity and your crazy thoughts. They believe you even if you don't seem to be making sense to everyone else. They are not jealous of you, but they look up to you and wish you success. They are difficult to find, hence very dear. A very big point to remember when you are talking of ladder movers is that they must have all the characteristics of the ladder holder. Nothing must be missing. This is because when a person moves you to another level, yet they are not loyal, they will move you into failure. Hence, all the characteristics must be found in them. They must be carrying all the big points, but their extra ability must be to see, prophesy, and predict the future. If one is able to predict the future, then they are a ladder mover. Offside. In a space of just 5 years, I had managed to directly affect thousands of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of lives. There are those that I was able to feed, cater for their fees, and even pay rentals for. I would give an average of 6,000 families full assistance. I took some to universities and others to professional courses abroad and locally. But there is one thing that I realized after doing all this. It is the fact that all my enemies, that is the people who have fought me over the years, came from the 6,000, not the hundreds of thousands. The people who will always fight you are the people you would have helped. Moreover, the ones you would have helped the most. The money you give them becomes an obligation. They feel they own it. It becomes theirs, and they even calculate what you have left. Receiving from you becomes their right, and they feel no one else other than them qualifies to be assisted. When schools open, they will only think that they deserve to be assisted and not anyone else. This mindset triggers jealousy in them, and as they become jealous, they make up false stories and derail and pull you down. Stories with no support base. This demon makes them feel if they can't be helped, no one else should. Always remember that it's their word against yours, so it is dangerous. The few who would normally listen to you will start to reduce in number, not because you did it, but because someone said something. Sadly, in Africa, every story is true. They will tell you there is no smoke without a fire. A trip to you. When you help someone, always have it in mind that you are creating an enemy. Let it not shock you later when they turn against you. The good book, the Bible, in Galatians 6 verse 9 says, "Never get tired of doing good. Let us create enemies for our own strength and our own good." This understanding has made me grow and have a better understanding of people. People are people. Predicting the future is an art and a skill whereby one is running away from failure by determining where the market will be. They are predicting where things might end up. This art of predicting the future must be found in you as a CEO, but must also be found in the ladder movers. They must also be able to see in the same manner as you, and must help you to push the ladder to another section to enable you to paint your vision at a different section. Predicting the future helped the inventors of Facebook and Google. Among many other big companies, they made a prediction of where the world was going, and they followed that vision, and they produced great products, which are now the answer to the future. Everyone is on Facebook, WhatsApp, and on Google. They predicted the future. Hence, in a ladder mover, you would also want a person who can predict the future and see what can come to mind and help you attain that thing. They are people that can see beyond the eyes of normal people. They predict and they set in their minds that this can happen, and then they follow that. These are called ladder movers. And you need to have at least two in your life. They can move with you as you move with your vision. Meditation. There is a skill and an art which I mentioned, in which I said they should predict the future. This is a skill that is required for every CEO. My CEO, if you cannot answer tomorrow, people will start to lose hope in you, and their faith in you may start to die. Every successful CEO must have this ability. They manage to sit down and meditate up until they can answer the future. If one has managed to think that deep, they will become effective, even to their workers. What causes people to submit fully is the issue of being amazed by your thoughts and thought pattern. Madam CEO, it is very key that you sit down on your own and become a person who can tell what may happen. This comes through meditation. Meditation being the art of separating your soul from the world and sitting in your subconscious mind. Meditation being the art of separating your soul from the world and sitting in your subconscious mind. Feed yourself with thoughts that are positive. Remember to always fight negative thoughts. I touched on this in BDC 1 and 2. Remember, Faith is a substance of hope. When you start to hope for greatness and start to meditate on it, it becomes part of your life. All the successful people meditate about the future. That is where the world is going, and thus, what may happen is very key. Do not drop this art, because if you drop it, you become irrelevant, and people will not be amazed by you. No one will be ready to follow you or submit to you when, as a CEO, you need to have followers who can run with your vision. This is when you can create ladder holders and ladder movers. Meditating is not something that you must throw away. It is something that you must always do. That is the reason why you should have holidays, not to rest the mind, but the flesh, allowing the mind to be reignited. This is to recreate that killer attitude and not to have ambitions. It comes through meditation and separating yourself from the world as you sit alone. The first culture of CEOs in Zimbabwe is that of having holiday homes. They need to go out to environments in which they brainstorm alone and come back reignited. When people see the fire in you, they will try to light up their fire with your fire. It is very important that you have that prediction of the future, because what makes any organization to continuously be powerful is an issue of having a solution of tomorrow. No one is ever satisfied by tomorrow, no matter how much the world changes, or whether this year we had flying saucers or flying cars. The issue is, after the cars have flown, what is next? If you answer that, then you have answered people, and they will continue to give you money for being yourself. This can come only if you sit and ask yourself what will come next after you have predicted a mobile phone. You need to see the fact that you will need to protect the glass by inventing a shutter glass, and you will still need to think beyond that and think about the battery, and you create a power bank, which is something you can conveniently move around with. You are thinking ahead and predicting the future. The next question then becomes, after the power bank, what's next? The phone can be harmful because of the radiation and other things that may come out of it. You must then create an anti-radiation object to protect the end user from cancer, among other effects from the phone. You are thinking ahead and answering the future. When mobile phones were made, the first ones had many buttons and were black and white, but it was later transformed into color screen. Then later, they invented the touch screen. What comes after touch screen becomes the answer for tomorrow. People are never satisfied with what they are holding. That is why they have got different versions of iPhones and they are still going on. The issue is in answering the question, what is next? This is a very big question that you must always ask yourself. My CEO, in whatever product you are handling currently, the question is, what is next after this? If you can answer that on a daily basis, you will amaze your people. People are fascinated by new things and they can listen to new ideas. If you go empty, my CEO, you will lose even the important people. But if you are fully equipped and are answering the question, what's next? You become powerful and people will lift you to bigger and better levels. It's an art of predicting the future. Offside. Donald Trump. A lot has been said about Donald J. Trump. Some of it good, much of it terrible, and a whole lot in between. Over the years, books were written on Donald Trump describing his bankruptcy, among other things. They described how he lost money to the point that he owed people over $1 billion. He was labeled the man who had failed to manage his life, a man who was flourishing but had gone down. Some of the books written are Trump, The Deals and the Downfall, 1992, Wayne Barrett. Trump, The Greatest Show on Earth. The Deals, The Downfall, The Reinvention, Wayne Barrett. Fire and Fury by Michael Wolff. Trump Nation by Timothy L. O'Brien. Understanding Trump by Newt Gingrich. The Truth About Trump by Michael D'Antonio. Let Trump Be Trump by Corey R. Lewandowski and David N. Bossie. The Making of Donald Trump by David K. Donald Trump Part 2. Johnston. Authors gave an example of his downfall. It seemed like it was his end. But as I write this book, the same man who owed billions of American dollars is the President of America and is amongst the richest men in the world. You see, reaching your lowest position does not determine your end. Allow God to take you where He intends for you to be. Let people preach and write about you. All you have to do is transform your negative news into positive energy. That is what Donald Trump did, and I learned that lesson from him.